It's that time of the year. Some teams are already looking at next year, hoping to find a new QB. Some teams are hoping to win the Super Bowl, and my Steelers are probably going to end up 9-8. But we know why we're here, so let's just get right into it with number 1, because I know that's who you're here to see. Ty Simpson. This might come as a shock to you, but just hear me out. Ty Simpson only has 5 starts in college, and it didn't start out very good with a loss to Florida State. But after that game, he's been a man on a mission. He has 13 touchdowns and only 1 interception on the year, and that pick came on a 4th down. He has great pocket awareness, a beautiful and quick throwing motion, and pinpoint accuracy, which we saw against Georgia, and with the fact he's completing 70% of his passes. Granted, he does only have an average depth of target of 8 yards. Not to mention, he's also a dual threat quarterback. The only knock I could think of for Simpson is that he's inexperienced, but he's certainly not playing like it. And there's some upside in that, because Simpson was recruited under Saban and was never promised a job under the new coaching staff. He stuck it out as the backup, working on his game, and that's the type of character I love in a quarterback. Another man I wouldn't blame anyone for putting at 1 is Dante Moore. I flip-flopped who was 1 and 2 between him and Simpson a million times, and I'm still not 100% sure I got it right. Moore has even better pocket awareness than Simpson, having only a 3.1% pressure to sack ratio. Although sometimes I'd really just like to see him throw the ball away, I don't blame him, because this guy might be more accurate on the run than in the pocket. With pressure coming while running, if a man's open, Dante Moore will see him and will make a beautiful throw. There's not much more to say. He's not an elite athlete, but he's definitely serviceable, and sometimes he messes up the timing on screens and quick routes, but that's a very fixable issue. The only reason I do have Ty Simpson above him is because I value his wins against Georgia and Vanderbilt more than I value Dante Moore's win against Penn State. The last quarterback I think has an argument for the number 1 pick right now is Fernando Mendoza. Sitting at 6'5", 225 pounds and throwing 16 touchdowns to only 1 interception, Mendoza is the ultimate pocket passing quarterback. He has great pre-snap processing shown by his 63.5% completion percentage against pressure, and can manipulate DBs with his eyes and pump fakes post-snap. He has a quick release that allows him to get the ball out really fast for RPOs and quick routes. While he's not an amazing athlete, he can still move around the pocket and has picked up 2 touchdowns with his legs. My only issue with Mendoza is that he does not run a super NFL style offense, relying heavily on RPOs, and we rarely get to see him throw the deep ball. We move down to the next tier of quarterbacks in my eyes, who are still very good, but in my opinion, noticeably worse than the aforementioned 3, starting with John Mateer. Mateer has thrown 6 touchdowns to 3 interceptions. He has shown all the tools to be a great NFL quarterback, but still struggles with accuracy from time to time. He has an elite arm and can make deep throws on the run. Speaking of on the run, he forced 54 missed tackles in 2024 and is a problem in open space. But what makes him an even bigger threat is that he keeps his head up while running and is willing to throw on the run. Whether it's on the run or under pressure, his mechanics always look great, and if he can fix his accuracy issues, I would have no problem moving him up a tier. Quickly, if you're enjoying, like and subscribe and leave a comment. I'm a small channel, so it goes a long way. Thanks. Moving down another tier is somebody I really wanted to like, Lanoriss Sellers. Sellers has been disappointing this year, throwing 4 touchdowns to 1 interception. His pocket presence is absurd, being able to make almost anyone miss, but he just won't get the ball out of his hands. He has an abysmal pressure to sack ratio of almost 30%. He's a freak athlete with great arm power and the ability to make explosive plays at any moment, whether it's through the air or on the ground. But sacks are drive killers, and until he stops taking so many, I can't put him any higher than 5. Moving on to number 6, we got Trinidad Chambliss. The former Division II national champion is making headlines with Ole Miss, throwing for 5 touchdowns and 1 pick on the year, which was against number 4 ranked LSU, who Chambliss ended up beating. Chambliss is a true dual threat athlete with 266 rushing yards and is incredibly safe with the ball, having 0 turnover worthy plays. While this is his first year being a Division I quarterback, Chambliss has proven he has the skills to be drafted high. His biggest drawbacks are that he's only 6 foot and doesn't have the strongest arm. But Trinidad Chambliss is someone who defied all odds before, coming from a Division II to a starter on a top 10 ranked team, so I wouldn't be the one to doubt him. Moving on from one dual threat quarterback to another, Sam Leavitt leads the FBS in scramble yards, accumulating 280 yards along with 5 touchdowns. Leavitt has thrown 8 touchdowns to 3 interceptions, but has really cleaned up his passing in the past few games, with all his interceptions coming from week 1 and 2. He has a cannon of an arm, and I wouldn't be surprised if we were talking about him in the first round by the end of the year. But unfortunately, just like Sellers, he has a huge issue, which is taking sacks for no reason. He has a 21% pressure to sack rate, and I understand why he wants to keep the ball because he's always a threat to make a huge play, but he has to learn to just throw the ball away sometimes. Number 8 is someone we were all expecting to be higher at the start of the year, Garrett Nussmeier. Nussmeier is the son of an NFL offensive coordinator, specifically the Saints if you are interested, and you can see that with his quick processing. He shows confidence under pressure and has solid accuracy, but his decision making has not been up to par this season. He has 7 touchdowns and 3 interceptions, throwing a pick to both elite defenses he played so far, that being Ole Miss and Florida, and has generally looked worse than he did last season. Second to last is Diego Pavia, who was almost so much higher on this list. Pavia looked so good against that Alabama defense in the first half, but unfortunately collapsed in the second. He has 14 touchdowns to only 4 picks, and is a great dual threat athlete with great pocket awareness, having a 7.3% pressure to sack ratio, and has an elite deep ball. He has unfortunately thrown a pick against both ranked teams he played, but looked great in the South Carolina game and the first half of the Bama game. Pavia has a 71% completion percentage, which is great, but he is only 6 foot without an elite arm and will be 25 come the 2026 season, so for now I can't put him any higher than 9. Last, and in my opinion least, Jalon Daniels. Daniels has the 3rd most passing touchdowns in the FBS, while being probably the most athletic quarterback in this class. Yes, he is playing poor competition, but it's not like Kansas is some super team where he just checks it down and gets touchdowns. He has an average depth of target of 10.7 yards and shows incredible mobility in the pocket. He's listed as running a 4.5, but don't think that just makes him a scrambler. His agility is second to none, having a pressure to sack ratio of 8%. He's not the perfect prospect though. He does struggle with the deep ball and has struggled with injuries in the past. He will be 23 on draft night, but will only have played 42 career games. That rounds out the list, but some honorable mentions are Carson Beck, who started off really strong, but has reversed back to his Georgia self in recent games. Nico Iamaleava, who looked like an elite quarterback with this coaching change at UCLA, and Joey Aguilar, who has looked like an elite signal caller at Tennessee, and while his numbers may not look the best, none of his picks have been his fault. Thanks for watching, like and subscribe.